everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Supercars. This is the Bathurst 1000 race review. If you haven't seen our debrief, weekend preview, do check it. It will be in the channel or somewhere on Spotify, just have a look. But I'm once again welcomed with my co-host, Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you for once again having me back. And, well, it's only been half an hour since the race finished, so we thought we'd get in really quick and early on this one. So,
That's it.
eventful day.
That's it. Well, very eventful. I don't remember much of it, but
Yeah.
very eventful.
Eventful before lap 70.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not
that
much
part's
happened.
we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into it.
But overall, though, it was a pretty good weekend as a whole. And it was very interesting to see, how the Gen 3 would go around the Mount Panorama, how the Fords would go against the Camaros, considering with that whole parity thing. There's a lot to talk about in regards to that and the lead up to the race. And obviously, there is a lot to talk about of the race itself, but not as much as we were expecting.
No, no cars blew up, which was good. Well, Andre Heimgartner's kind of did, but no, the cars were more reliable than we expected them to be. The brakes as well. I was chatting to you offline yesterday, and we were thinking with these brake pad changes, we're like, oh God, like this is not going to go well. Whoever doesn't mess up the brake pad changes is going to win, but no one did. No one messed up. During the race. So yeah, it just seemed like there was a lot of learning all week, like from Thursday to Saturday, then to race day. It was just all learning, but that was good. It was good for spectators. But then it just seemed like everyone had learned on Sunday, and everyone was smooth. Besides James Moffat, no one actually crashed.
No.
You know what I mean? So he was the only person that had an incident on track. The only one.
I was very surprised. That was very surprising. I was expecting a lot of chaos, but similar to Sandown, even we didn't even see too much chaos happen either then. But like you said about reliability, it was very interesting coming into it. This is the first time the Gen 3 were going to be running this distance before. And they mostly survived. There was a few hiccups towards the end, but only DNFs. 3 DNFs. And one was it 3? I'm pretty sure, it was 3 DNFs.
It actually ended up being 4. Apparently,
4.
I didn't know
that.
Apparently, the Team 18 car didn't finish.
Yeah, right. I'm just seeing that now.
That. Must be really late because the Todd Hazelwood Tim Blanchard one happened with like a lap or two to go. So
yeah, that was very late. I thought that was it, but
turns out it
so
wasn't.
Considering there was only 4 DNFs out of the 28 cars that ran, it's not too bad. But we'll get into it as we go on. But let's quickly just brief over Super 2. Give them some attention because they do deserve it. I didn't see race 1, unfortunately. Did you? You saw race 1?
I did. Yeah.
Would you like
I watched race 1. You watched race 2.
Yeah. So you kick us away with. I'll look at the results while you do that.
Yeah. Well, I got to get the results up as well. One second. Probably should have been more organised about this.
It would be us if we weren't.
No, it wouldn't have been us if we'd not had this organised.
Good weekend. Good. There was some decent action though for Super 2 in general. I just got rid of the results. Look at me go, legend.
Race on this is a Friday. This is pretty embarrassing for us. That's all right. All right, yeah, got them up now. So the race wasn't overly dramatic. It was semi-boring, but it had some incidences, mainly at the start. Lap 1 caused 2 DNFs. Ryan Wood hitting Kai Allen, I think it was, on the exit of turn 1. They interlocked wheels. That caused Kai Allen to lose a few spots, and Ryan Wood with a broken right front wheel, just wobbling all over the place. And then what happened was at turn 2, the carnage of that, he was going so slow, but we were still at the front of the field, well, near the front. that caused a ricochet effect. So there was just cars bumping into each other, front to rear. And Zane Morse got spun out by McLeod, the Super 3 driver, which was a bit disappointing because Zane Morse was just avoiding what was coming in front of him. And he got spun and smashed into the wall, so broken suspension. And then nothing happened for a while until Jay Hansen, who was in third, you gain a lot of spots at the start because of that early lap one crash. He collided the wall at the top of the hill, usually where everyone crashes. Just smashed the right front, and that was race over. Now I actually missed what happened to Jack Perkins. I think he had a mechanical failure, and Cooper Murray, I'm pretty sure, was the same, if I am correct. But the winner of the race was Aaron Love, followed by Zach Best and Kai Allen. Aaron Love and Zach Best just took off. They were quite a way in front until the end. So the race finished on the safety car, which I'm pretty sure Cooper Murray caused that one. And Aaron Love, once he got past Zach Best, who'd made a mistake, they were going side by side into the chase. And Zach Best ran off the road. Aaron Love, who looked like he was going to get him anyway, just sped off in front. But then they all finished in line on the safety car in that race.
Yeah, right. I am sad that I actually missed that now. But
you only missed lap one, and then in the end,
yeah, but
everything in between was a bit.
Well, from what I saw overall on the weekend, they definitely had a crack, and it was great to see because I think in race 2 they went 4 wide at one point, and it was quite chaotic, similar to the Sandown.
Aaron Love definitely had a crack in qualifying.
Oh boy, yeah.
But he didn't take part in race 2, did he?
No, so that was unrepairable. Did something similar to Tyler Everingham. Not Everingham. Fraser in qualifying on Friday.
Yeah, it looked the exact same.
It was brutal as well. So it was one of those accidents where you saw it and you're like, "That's it, that's done." And especially with the small window they had, there was like a 6-hour window. There was no way they'll get that.
Yeah, the Super 2 teams don't have the capability to do what the Tickford boys did.
That's it. And also, quick note on Jack Perkins, he didn't actually take part in Saturday's race because he had a poor qualifying for the race, so they just called it and focused on the big one today, which, it's a smart move. Like you said, they don't have resources.
He's not in a championship hunt or anything either.
No, I think mainly his goal in Super 2 is just get that track experience, because he's quite experienced, obviously, we all know.
Yeah.
So not only to get experience for himself, but to give the young guys experience of fighting someone with all that experience. So, if that makes sense, but smart decision. The car does look amazing. It was that livery is so good, especially with the suit and all. They've done a good job. But did we go through we went through results for Dunlops, didn't we?
Not you didn't. Race 2 didn't.
Oh well, race 1, I mean.
Yeah, I went through. I went through the podium at least.
Didn't
go through all of them.
So race 2, that was an interesting race. Is Zach Best jumped the start? It was very close, but once you saw on the replay, you sort of knew. And then he had a 5-second gap, 5-second penalty, which he had to extend all the way till the end. Which he was almost doing, except for Zane Morse. He was actually catching up to him throughout the whole race. And then heartbreak happened. Zane Morse, something happened. I think he got a warning in the car. Something failed.
Yeah, the warning light came on.
And that was heartbreaking.
I think it was oil pressure. Yeah.
Something like that. And he was on target for his first ever Super 2 win. It would have been an amazing result for the team. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be, but I feel like they'll get it for sure. They've had a lot of pace this year. Managed to get a podium in their first podium in Townsville. They didn't have a great race Sandown. They had that weird drama with Zach Best. I'm pretty sure it was Zach Best last time. He'll be looking at a better result for Adelaide. But Zach Best didn't actually end up winning. He also had some drama, literally the same time as I'm pretty sure, as Zane Moore. So in saying that, Kai Allen ended up being the Super 2 winner for that race, which which I wasn't expecting, and I don't think he was either.
No.
But
Well, he said he crossed the line and thought, "Yeah, I'm second," and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
nope.
yeah, that's it. And it's like, what do you mean I won? So
Yeah,
no,
literally.
that's pretty cool. So and Zach he did actually end up finishing second. He slowed down.
Tough.
That's right. So he had like a slowdown. He slowed down for some reason. That was right. That's right. Now it's coming back to me. And so that was weird. So Kaya managed to finish under 5 seconds from Zach Best, which gave him the win. Then Zach Bates rounds up the podium for Super 2. Super 3, Cameron McLeod won once again. I'm pretty sure he won the first one too.
Yeah, sorry. I should mention that. He did, yeah.
Job Stewart, second place. And Mason Kelly scores his first podium as well in Super 3, which is pretty cool.
It was the same podium for the race before.
So, second podium then. See, I missed the first race. I didn't do my homework. I'm bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But let's get on with the big one. So, first off, let's just quickly brief over the weekend. If there's not too much to talk about, other than the insane pace that Kostecki had in the shootout and qualifying.
Yeah, it was nuts. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, the qualifying pace was insane. Like once he, so for those who don't know, Brody ran wide at turn 1 on his shootout lap, similar to Will Davison's, who was first cab off the rank, and I thought his lap was done, and then I thought that was going to be it, and then somehow, I don't know how, he just had that much confidence and pace. He clawed it way back, and not only did he claw his way back, he gapped the field by, was it 4/10? 6/10?
6/10, I think.
4.8.
Still pretty decent.
4.8 tenths. That's ridiculous.
He was on target for 3.9.
Yeah, so he did a 204.2 and he lost 3/10 at turn 1 and still gapped the field by half a second.
But in saying that, though, I do need to give a shout out to Matt Payne and Brock Feeney.
There's some honourable mentions. I'm going to even add James Golding to the list.
Oh yeah, him too. The fact that he made it into the shootout is quite special.
And not on fourth position as well. Like, he was not messing around. He beat Van Gisbergen. It was unfortunate the first 2 runners were a bit Mostert and Davison. They didn't have great runs. They were quite way back. Matt Payne put the first good time down. It was unfortunate that everyone beat him after that, but still, Matt Payne, first shootout at Bathurst, and honestly, I was kind of nervous for him. I thought, make a mistake or touch the wall or something a rookie would do, but no, he didn't. His lap was very smooth, very under control. Yeah, honourable mentions, him. Who do we say? Golding and Feeney. Feeney was outstanding as well.
Like, that was his first Bathurst one too. Because if you remember last year, he Whincup actually qualified the car.
The shootout, the shootout didn't happen either last year.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't even think they made it into the shootout last year. I don't even think Whincup qualified high enough, because I was like, because they're raving about. You go.
He was in the middle of the pack because he was going backwards in lap 1. Remember?
Yeah,
up Mountain Straight, he got spun.
But and you kind of forget how young these guys are. Like Brock, he turns 21 in a week and a half or 2 weeks, on the couple weeks time from now, and Payne literally recently had his birthday. Like, bloody young blokes having a crack, and it's great to see though. I'm really happy for them.
I'll get the results last year. Last year, they qualified 14th.
Yeah, because I remember
Whincup qualified 14th.
I remember, like, it was a wrong choice, and then for Whincup not even to perform well, like, just destroyed the chance for Feeney to see what he can do.
Last year was the wet weather race, so it was not good for everybody.
But I'm glad he had this opportunity to actually prove himself, like to show what he can do and also gain experience too, because I'm sure it's not easy doing a shootout at one of the biggest events of the year.
Yeah, 100%. You did very well. Anyway, moving on to today.
That's it. So it was. I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say it. It was kind of boring for at least
Yeah,
half of it.
yeah. So there was no action until, was it lap 27?
Hmm.
Yeah, when Kevin Estre, the international driver, locked up into turn one, couldn't get out of the gravel. He didn't hit he nicked the tire barrier. No damage done, just got stuck.
He was so close
Almost
to
got out of
making it
that.
too. He was so close.
Yes, so close. That was the first safety car of the day. There were some issues before that. Don't know if you want to go through those.
Um,
For me, it was the 888 mainly one that was the
yeah,
issue.
with the Lowndes was it Goddard in the no, sorry, Lowndes was in the car at
No,
the
it
time.
was Lowndes
They had a gearing lever mount
issue.
I think it either it got undone, or it actually got damaged from the force.
I couldn't believe how quickly that happened.
That was, yeah, it wasn't even that long
Lap
into it.
20. No, what time was it? It was lap 18.
Yeah, no, so it was very reminiscent of 2016 when the similar thing happened with him and Richards.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the start of the race was a bit what's what I'm looking for? Not much happened. A lot of the co-drivers started. Um,
quite calm.
so it was good to see them. Yeah, it was very calm. No huge mistakes. No Zane Goddard smashing at everyone at the chase. Um, Nothing like that happened, which was good. I think everyone's slowly learnt from last year.
Mm.
Wing Cup took off and started. He had the better start of the line. So yesterday, everyone was upset that everyone in Red Bull was upset that they didn't get the pole. And I was like, they're going to be on the right side of the track. Pole position at Bathurst, never good.
No.
Like, yes, it's cool, but it's hard to start from that pole position, man. There's so much dirt on that side of the track.
And once that happened, you
Um,
told me straight. You were like, "I told you," because he
yeah,
just
I
took
literally,
off.
like,
He was
I
gone.
said yesterday, because I don't know if you watched that preview video, but I tipped Feeney to win the race today. So when I saw him qualify second, I'm like, that's better. Like,
Oh,
seriously, that's literally better than pole position. Yeah, you don't get, the attention from, starting second.
and
No one cares. But that's the better side of the track.
they
It's on
were
the
up
right
there
side.
pretty much all race too, which
Yeah, well, he led. They led the whole first stint, and safety car came out and ruined that.
and then
Um,
disaster happened when a similar incident happened. What happened to Lowndes happened to Feeney towards the end of the
yeah.
race,
Oh,
which
we'll get into
is
that after because
heartbreaking.
I'm still upset.
Yeah,
Um,
let's let that sink in.
yeah, I'll leave that. We'll talk about it later.
But
The only real standout from the first stint before the safety car, I got to give a shout out to Will Brown. Will Brown was insane.
oh,
He qualified 14th it was, I think?
17th. He
17th,
went from
and
17th to 7th in that first stint.
I think it was higher than that, to be honest.
Oh, fifth. Sorry, fifth. He was fifth for a little bit
Yeah,
there.
it was high. So he
But
gained like 12 spots before the safety car,
he did
and
bloody
pitted
well.
just before the safety car as well.
Oh, literally. Yeah. So
Because the issue with today was if you were the car behind your teammate, sorry.
what was Scafie was saying on the broadcast, where if he had to double stack, that would have been 40 seconds gone.
Yeah, which happened to car 88, it happened to
Yeah,
car 17. It happened to every single
exactly.
car that was behind their teammate.
So
And it's the one part that sucks at Bathurst. You can and can't get away with it. It's annoying, but you don't know when these safety cars are going to happen. You can't gamble on it. Because if there isn't a safety car and you do pit,
that's it.
you're screwed that way as well. So
That's it.
there's
So
no.
they got really lucky then.
Mm,
And then once Jack got in the car, they sort of just stayed where they were pretty much for a while there.
yeah, it was
But
just stable.
this considering where they started, they did pretty well to come up. but we'll get into the results shortly. But one thing about pit stops, I'm surprised brake pad changes and stuff like that were not an issue like they were in practice that we saw.
Yeah. Well, you and I were chatting off air when we saw the Penrite team do a practice brake change yesterday, and they literally couldn't get it off. And we're like, hang on a second, this is going to happen after 10 laps of driving. What the heck's going to happen in the race? And look, credit where credit's due. All the teams, I don't know what they did overnight, but far out, no one had an issue at all.
It was perfect. I was watching them like change it, and I think it was the Penrite themselves. They actually did probably one of the best brake pad changes I've seen. I hate to say it, quote Scafey here, all weekend. But no, they did really well considering how many issues we saw throughout the weekend. So
yeah, and then just before and after the safety car, it became the mistakes of BJR section, where we had the first incident involving car 14 spinning out Simona Di Silvestro in the wildcard DJR car. Did they call a penalty for that? Or was the racing incident? The spin.
For the spin for Di Silvestro.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was actually the tradie car that spun her.
I don't know. It was 14.
I'm thinking of... Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking of...
You're thinking of the other one.
She got spun twice. I'm thinking of the tradie car.
Yeah.
No, that was a racing incident.
Sorry. That was the Forest Element, that one. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Yes, that was the first one. And then the safety car was caused by Scott Pye hitting Dale Wood in the 8 car into the wall in the last corner.
He got trapped.
And then straight after the restart, getting stuck. Straight after the restart, the teammates, Macaulay Jones and Jack Smith, I think, was in the car.
Tell you what, they got good TV time.
They collided. Brad Jones would be pissed today.
What a weekend.
Where was... Oh, man. God. I think his highest car here, let me quick look.
Seventh with car 14.
Okay. Yeah, so, that's not bad. But after that...
But what could have been, though, for them, They won the PureTech pit stop challenge, which we came into it expecting. They win it every time. They're just that good. But in terms of the race weekend itself, it was a disaster. And especially when we saw those cars come together, and you're like, oh my God, you serious? Like, come on. What a like, one day they'll get a break.
100%. Yeah, so that was the second safety car after the Dale Wood being pushed into the wall. What happened after that? A few penalties here and there. Oh, the Reynolds. We forgot to mention that. The penalty.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that was after the first.
That was the first one. Yeah,
when,
sorry,
his teammate actually went off. So what happened, if you don't know, he actually received a pit lane penalty for overtaking under yellow, passing that safety car line at the pit exit. According to the officials at the time, he was ahead of Feeney coming into that when clearly he wasn't. It was probably like that you can see on the camera.
Yeah, it was half a car length, man. It was ridiculous.
And I was hearing an interview with Garth Tander. He was saying, in normal terms, you can readdress that under the safety car. Like, the race control will allow that, but they never once told the team to do that.
So what Garth said, which I didn't know this changed, because since I've been watching motorsport, since he's been doing motorsport, he said, every single time if they notice this, they just say, hey, get behind him. And then you're all good. Which is what they did. So what happened was, after 2 laps, they noticed this, and then Reynolds said, hey, they told Reynolds, can you give the swap back to Brock? And he did.
Yeah, green flag running.
And then, and he did. He gave it back. He lost 2 seconds because of it, or a second maybe. And then race control just kept saying, no, you got to drive through. That's your penalty. And then Garth was saying, they changed the rule so you can't do the readdress. I don't know, for safety or something. I have no idea why. Just stupid. But the penalty they've put in place is a pit lane drive-through penalty. And I'm sorry, it's hard. And credit to Mark Larkham, during the live broadcast, literally shouted out to Supercars that this rule was stupid. Not in those words, but proved the point of the gap was this, this, right? That's the
Mm.
difference, and he got a drive-through penalty for that, which it was lost, stone dead lost.
And then you could, and like for a comparison, car 6 got a penalty for a pit, for an unsafe pit release. You only got a 5-second penalty for making
Yeah,
contact in pit lane. Whereas normally that's
yeah.
like a drive-through or a much worse. But
Now
that one's not the
that's
point. The point is the fact that the extreme penalty they got for
they
overtaking.
need to change that rule. It
No,
has to be a 5-second penalty, or just being behind them.
they need better
Like I don't know why
communication as
they.
well.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So, like Arthur was saying, usually you get told by race control. They didn't say a word. They said,
No,
"Boom, penalty." They just issued it. I'm
yeah,
like, what? You didn't tell us.
can't really fix it if you don't know about it, sort of thing, So,
Yeah,
but they
because in the
recovered well.
cockpit, Davey said after the race. I don't know if you saw it after the race before the podium. Davey said, "Look, when you're in the car, it looks closer than you think." So he thought he was side by side.
Mm,
Oh, on the camera, he wasn't. But you know, going full steam ahead, trying to pass Brock,
yeah,
and it's just a bit harsh. The punishment does not fit the crime.
no, but
Look, they recovered well. Credit where
they
credit's
did.
due.
They
And
did
right,
recover very well,
fifth
considering they
place.
were essentially last technically after that
Yeah,
penalty.
for a good chunk of the race. Yeah,
So, and they were on the back foot the whole time because they weren't able to
yeah.
rely on safety cars completely to
No, no one
help
could.
them. Not even the lapped cars,
Um,
but let's seek into that.
no.
That's pretty much all the action really in terms of.
Well, hang on. No, no. After that, we had the restart. We had three cars in front who hadn't pitted.
Oh yeah.
Poor Declan Fraser. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
Let's
got
yeah.
swamped. He was in third place on the track. Obviously, didn't change his tires, didn't refuel. And I literally messaged you, didn't I? I said,
Mm.
this is going to be bad. And it wasn't just bad, it was terrible. He got swamped by everybody and then it ended up having a huge lock up going to the chase and almost took out Chaz. And then ended up having to pit anyway because he had a huge flat spot. So he was stone dead last after that.
It was a sitting duck.
Kostecki got the lead as well. And then nothing really happened after that. There was a bit of chopping and changing for the lead. 99 and 97 were very close. And then all of a sudden, Moffat in the Monster Mustang smashed the wall on a dipper, hit the inside wall, ricocheted to the outside,
And then
ruined
he
the
tried to bring
car.
it back into the
And
pits.
oh, I was so angry with this. So he had,
Oh,
well, essentially three wheels on the car from the dipper, tried to bring it back. And to be fair, he did get it back. But when he got to the pit lane,
oh,
he couldn't turn left and blocked the pit lane, causing James Golding, Anthony Pasquale, a few others to go through the dirt and almost get themselves bogged just to come into the pit lane.
and that
So that was stupid.
with that helicam, you can see the Nulon car actually lost position
Stop.
from
Yeah,
the
Monster went
Williams
around the
Monster. Yeah,
outside.
I was like, "Yoop, I'll take that."
Yeah,
Bloody, the guy did a Sebastian Vettel
yeah,
in China, but
yeah, literally. Yeah,
he
yeah.
should have, in my opinion, if he knew he couldn't turn left, he should just drove into the gravel. Like, look, you're going to be towed regardless. Just do it. Don't block
Yeah.
that because it's
It
such a
was safe. It
small.
was safety car as well. That was the
Exactly.
other thing.
Yeah.
He didn't need to bring it back. He thought it was repairable. Mate, you smashed the wall on
Not when
on
the
freaking
rear's looking
the
like that
dipper.
and the front's looking like that. No
Yeah,
way.
the front wheel fell off almost by then. He had no. I don't know if you saw it, but the wheel was still on, but the tire was
Oh
shredded,
no, the tire was eaten.
gone.
It was eaten.
And then look, let's be honest, that was it.
Kudos to him for being optimistic. But unfortunately, who knows if they actually. No, I would say if he got towed back, they actually might have been able to repair it because he probably did a bit more damage to it coming back.
Yeah. Well, and then that was the last safety car. So the restart,
Yeah.
lap 74, and that was it, man.
Nothing really
That
happened
was
until Feeney's car broke.
Feeney.
And then after that, we literally heard Kostecki had steering rack dramas. And then after that, before that, Shane Van Gisbergen had a long brake pedal. And we're like,
And steering
whoa.
dramas.
Yeah, as well. And we're like, oh, this is it. Let's go. And then nothing happened. They literally just got over it, and it's like nothing happened. They just continued.
Yeah.
No one
we said it before.
It.
We said it before. We're gonna mention Brock Feeney. I just want to give Brock Feeney a hug. Like that is so cruel, man. When he was crying in car. Like I remember, because I'm a McLaughlin fan. I remember when McLaughlin hit the wall with 30 laps to go in the Volvo. Yep, in the Volvo, and said I'm sorry. And he got to the garage. He put it in neutral and went like this. It gave me flashbacks, man. It gave me flashbacks when Brock was doing that. I'm not a Rebel fan by no means, but oh my god, I feel sorry for this kid, man.
But to help Feeney feel better, you've seen how well McLaughlin was after that and how much he's achieved since then. He will have his turn. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be, but he drove superb. This whole enduro event. Actually, you know what? The whole year he's been doing very well.
I really think though, if he didn't have that shifter issue, and Shane was having those issues with his car, oh man, I just don't want to even say it. But I honestly think, he was right behind me.
Yeah,
I honestly think he could have won.
I was really hoping to, and like you said, you marked him down for your predictions, and I told you the Win Cup curse will happen, and it did, unfortunately.
Oh,
it did.
Man,
so yet again, Win Cup does not win for the 12th year in a row at Bathurst.
I didn't realize this, but Crompo mentioned it, that every time he wins Sandown, Bathurst is a nightmare.
Yeah, I didn't actually.
I didn't know that.
That's quite funny, actually.
So he does really well at Sandown. Yes, sad. But he does really well at Sandown, and then Bathurst was a disaster.
Very true.
And that was it. And I don't know the last time that someone had a 20+ second lead in Bathurst.
I was not expecting that.
It was a while.
Especially considering how good Brody was yesterday. And Gizzy looked like he wasn't really comfortable.
No, they said his car wasn't qualifying ready. Which I love how they say that and they qualify 6th.
Yeah, well he got the tow with Courtney. I reckon if
but in the shootout too.
Oh yeah, shootout was decent. Yeah, that's fun. That's a good point.
Well, our car's not ready for the qualifying. Oh, 6th in the shootout. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, all right. Calm down, Max Verstappen. Well, sorry, Lewis Hamilton. But they did have a good race car though. They stayed out of trouble.
Oh, it was amazing.
They took advantage. They even actually did a short stop to get ahead of Brody at the time, which obviously helped in the long run.
Unlike a lot of other cars, and this is where experience, I think, came into it. Their car got better as the race went on. It got better and better. At the start, they were hard. They weren't keeping up.
No.
Brody was driving away, and then I don't know how they did it, but their car just got better as time went on, which is weird. Like you think you have more wear and tear and all this stuff, but no, their car was smooth like butter, man. Like you couldn't have done any better. You couldn't have done any better.
And Richie did very well. He drove really well today.
Richie's proved that he's earned his seat next year. He's fast enough, and I think he was behind. I think it was actually Kostecki for like a good 30 laps and keeping up with
him. Yeah. I was watching on board with them majority of the day, like Kostecki and Car 97, and just watching him just stick with each other. They were the only two that
it was amazing.
With each other,
and they took off.
Decent ass gap between them. Third. Yeah. So he deserves a seat, and I'm actually happy for him because obviously he left the sport in a bad way, mentally.
Did you hear what Shane said at the end?
No, what did he say? Oh, I probably did, but
in the interview with Jess,
remind me.
He goes, because she was talking about how he deserves a seat for next year and he'll be back, and Shane goes, I really think he should be in my seat for next year. But oh well, he's in a really good team at Penrite.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, shots fired at Will Brown.
But in saying that, though, Will Brown,
Will Brown deserves it just as much. But
but
I think what he's saying is that
he's got
could have just
I know,
taken him.
But either way, though, this is reinvigorated him. He's back into the sport, and you can just see he's mentally better and more mature now. Coming into next year, so I'm very excited to see how he does. Yes, it's a Mustang, but hopefully they can fix those issues for next year.
Yeah,
but that's another story for another day. So they're today's winners.
Yeah, let's go through the list.
So obviously, car 97 is the victors today. Second place is the Brody Kostecki and David Russell, who honestly I thought was going to win. But then 97 came out anyway.
It was a flip of a coin with 50 laps to go. And then, like I said, the 97 car actually just got better as time went on. It was weird.
I was not expecting a 25-second gap. No way.
No, not at all, man. No, that's ridiculous. Then my surprise of the day, Anton Di Pasquale and Tony D'Alberto on the podium. I honestly said, remember the preview, I said I don't think a Mustang will be on the podium, and they proved me wrong.
They did.
Actually, the next three cars were Mustangs too.
That's it. So let's have a quick look in general. There's 4 Mustangs and 6 Camaros in the 10. So last time there was 3 Mustangs in the 10. So it's one more than last time.
Yep.
But even it's good. Yeah. How good?
100%. I don't think Anton's been on the podium before. I know Tony has with Fabian.
No, I don't know about actually.
I don't think Anton has.
I can't remember. If you are watching and you do know the answer, do let us know. I'm very curious to see.
Yeah, please let us know.
I know, D'Alberto definitely has. With Fabian.
And Brody and David have finished second a few times. They've finished second and third before.
Yeah, and this is Shane's third Bathurst victory.
Yep.
And also, it's his last one too, so we've got to point that out. It's his last one. So in a way, I am happy for him to come out for his last ever Bathurst winning.
Is Brody Kostecki to be the winner next year?
Maybe that's it, yeah.
Anyway.
But maybe Rock Feeney.
Yeah, well, that gear stick issue, they might be
another one that I'm surprised about as well, given their pace the last couple of rounds, is Chaz Mostert and Lee Holdsworth. There you go.
The T-shirt worked.
Hang on, I have my shirt somewhere here.
The T-shirt worked.
It's the Holden one though.
So. That was last year's. Yeah.
But I'm too fat to wear that.
The last round. The last round. No, well, look, they just didn't give up. And that was one of the other teams that, their car got better throughout the day. There was a period where I was like really worried. I was like, oh God. Lee Holdsworth got swamped at one point. He lost like 5 spots in one lap just for being on the wrong side of the track. So I did have my doubts early on about them. But yeah, somehow they just clawed their way through. Good pit stops, reliable.
I'm really happy.
No complaints from them. I'm pretty sure they'll be happy with 4th.
Oh yeah, considering how the Mustang, thing is, coming into this weekend, everyone thought the Mustang, it'll be fast on one lap pace, but for a whole 1,000 kilometers, we weren't sure. So be able to get a podium in 4th, 5th, and 6th is a pretty decent thing. Considering, yes, you want them challenging for the win, but because Anton was about 30 seconds or so from the winner, so a lot to work on. No doubt, there's a lot to work on, but got to be happy with 4th and 5th place as well. David Reynolds, Garth Tander, good recovery considering they were robbed of a good result, pretty much, or a chance to have a good one. And we already spoke about that, but they were your dark horse.
David Reynolds, they were my pick. They were my forward pick. I thought, if they have a wheel stay on the car, they'll be up there.
And they did.
So
they finished the races with 4 wheels.
They finished the race with 4 wheels, which
and
is
David
important.
Reynolds,
everyone did, thank God.
He managed to set a lapper in the Enduro for the first time since 2021.
Yeah, didn't have any cramps too, which is good.
No, that's good.
Yeah, he actually had a decent day. I think they won't be a pair next year because Reynolds is moving on to Team 18. My guess will probably be teams with Luff, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just guessing. But it's a nice way to end it with Penrite. Look, what could have been really? I think they would have easily had the podium.
Yeah, they would have probably had Anton's spot, I reckon.
Yeah, David Reynolds did admit though, he's like, "Oh, we didn't have the fastest car, so probably he's probably actually happy with fifth. He said, but obviously without that penalty, you would have been higher up. Yeah, at least in third, I reckon easily they could have got. Um, yeah, but no, decent day for them despite the penalty. This is my man of the match performance in the top 10 as well. Like this, I did not expect. James
Oh,
Courtney and Zach Best.
oh yeah, and the fact that they're actually the fastest Tickford as well, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. The highest Tickford car, they went up 10 spots, which is great. To me, they quietly achieved. I didn't see them much
No,
at
I only
all.
really saw him in the pit
Like,
stops. It's pretty much the only time. And
yeah, there was a part where Courtney actually ran wide
yeah, that's right.
at Skyline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot. And then other than that, though,
yeah, you
guess
didn't
what?
see them
I
much.
would say he's on his own, but literally he's a second ahead of Bryce Forward and Dean Fury in seventh.
Yeah, and Zach Best struggled a little bit during the race.
Mm.
He had a few offs that he almost did a Kevin Estro. That was close.
Yeah, he managed to keep it on. Thank
Yeah,
God,
turn one,
thankfully.
just stayed on the track. But yeah, no, decent day for them as well as Bryce Ford and Dean Fiore. Like that car did not look any good,
No,
any good
if
the
you
whole
ask me,
weekend.
I would have thought they would finished.
20th
Yeah, so to do
down the
that
back.
can't be mad. Moved up 10
No,
spots too. So
no, 14.
we're talking about 14 now. Oh, I'm talking about James Courtney, but yeah, 14 as well. That,
Oh,
but yeah, no,
my bad.
both of them they did well. Courtney moved up 10,
Both of them were
and car
quite
14 moved
achievers.
up
Yeah.
14 spots. 14. No, they're pretty good considering they had a couple of issues. Well, Fury had a couple moments where he spun Di Silvestro out, like we mentioned before, and then
Yeah.
him and I think it was Fury at the time. He locked up did the same thing to Aaron Love, except I don't think they touched. I think Aaron Love just went off literally the same time as him. And then they got a pit lane penalty, didn't they? For pit speed limit. Like they released the pit limit button.
Was that car 14?
Yeah, car 14 as well as I can't
Oh,
remember who
must have
else
missed
now,
that part.
but I literally can't remember who else. But I remember, yeah, car 14. They got it because they were on the radio. Like Forward was like, "What the hell? Why?" sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. No, I must
But,
have missed that part.
but so besides from that, they did pretty good to make it to seventh.
Yeah. Will Brown and Jack Perkins were eighth. Probably what could have been for them. Well, they still went up 9 spots. Obviously, they had the issue in qualifying where Will Brown put in the fence.
Well, they ended up having to double stack in the next safety car anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
They got screwed by that a
that
few
sort of
times.
ruined it a bit. They had potential. I was like, they were my pick for the win, and I couldn't be far off. Actually, in saying that, you probably ended up worse because Wink Up was your choice, but at least mine
Oops.
finished in the 10. But I pressed a button. What have I done here? I pressed a button. There we go. I fixed it. But nah, decent. Got some decent points. 180 points. Once you're in a situation like that, you got to if you know you can't win, got to think of the championship, and they came home with a solid amount. So look at the positives. They'll move on to the Gold Coast. Brown will, and aim to do better. All right, let's
Yeah, 100%.
speed through the rest because there's not much to talk about.
No, 100%.
We've got 9th, Jack LeBrock and Jano Jada. I did say they will end up retiring. I couldn't be
More
off. Yeah.
Actually, just a shout out. I reckon Jaden and Jada was really quick. Like he was keeping up with a lot of the main drivers. So hats off to him. He hasn't driven a supercar for ages. Because he does a lot of European racing now, which I didn't know. Because I knew he was in Super 2 a couple years ago.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't know this. So because when they had the camera on him for a little bit, I was like, where the hell has he been for the last 12 months? But it turns out he's doing some racing in Europe.
Yeah, right.
So
that would definitely help. That's for sure.
But I don't know what cars he's driving, but at least he's staying race fit.
That's good though. No, they did well though. Stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, 100%.
10th place, James Golding, Dylan O'Keefe. Not the result they were hoping for, but 10th is still pretty decent around here. He
Yeah,
did get, like
Dylan
you mentioned.
O'Keefe. Dylan O'Keefe drove. That strategy didn't work. They admitted that Dylan O'Keefe wasn't meant to be in the car when he was. So there was a restart where the first race,
led the
the
restart,
first or
didn't
second
he?
race, led the restart, got swamped, and then actually held fourth for a while. I was keeping my eye on him. So I was really hoping after qualifying they'll be up there. But yeah, he I think he did like 75 laps. Like he did a lot more than they wanted to. Yeah, he did a lot more.
Did a good job then. But yeah, I just remember the restart. He didn't really get off to a great one. But 11th place, now we'll go outside the 10. Matt Payne and Kevin Estrie, good recovery considering that off at brought out the first safety car.
12th. Yeah, considering now lap down, 11th's pretty good.
By the way, if I'm gonna run through these, so if you do want to stop and talk about one of them, just let me know.
Yeah, no, go for it.
12th place is Thomas Randall, Gary Jacobson. Didn't see much of them today. There was a moment where he was a bit angry on the radio. Not sure why though, I can't remember. But 13th place, Tim Slade, Jono Webb, your other dark horse.
Wrong new line car.
Wrong one, yeah, you picked the wrong one. But they moved up 5 spots. Nick Percat and Fabian Coulthard finished 14th. Didn't see much of them, but moved up 9, so take the positives, 126 points.
They had a good start to the race. Nick Percat was in the car, and he got up. I think they started like 22nd, and he got up to like 15th, 14th, near the top 10. So not bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. But Cameron Hill, Robotham, in 15th. They moved down 1 position. Again, didn't see much of them either. 16th, which is a bit of a shock compared to where his teammate ended up. Will Davison and Alex Davison in 16th.
Their car was terrible. Their car was shocking.
Especially when they started 10th.
Yeah, they had brake issues all day. And I don't know if you saw at the end.
Turn 1. Wasn't turn 1 that he...
Well, it ended up being everywhere, pretty much. They said like it was like literally every time he hit the brake, it was like someone pulling the handbrake on. Scott McLaughlin and Greg Murphy at the bend. Esque. Stuff like that. Like he just they hated that car. It was just a car.
It didn't look fast at all.
No.
It didn't look fun either. But
no. Not at all.
Hope for a good result for Gold Coast. 17th, Scott Pye and Warren Luff. Saw a bit of them every now and again. The only time we mostly saw them was when they got into a pickle with Dale Wood at the final corner.
Yeah, this one shocked me. I don't know why they finished so low, but they were fast. Like the first half of the race before the set, they must have lost pace as the day went on. But yeah, they were quick at the start. They were running top 10 for ages.
Maybe they double stacked. I don't know what happened. Maybe during I don't know, because they were the broadcast was focusing it more towards the front with the Red Bull.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Who knows? But they were looking quick and they dropped down 5 spots. But 18th, Declan Fraser. Oh, sorry, Scott Pye as well. I want to quickly mention. He's been potentially poised to join Triple Eight next year as a co-driver role with Will Brown, which will be very interesting and a good decision.
It'd be a good co-driver to have.
It would. He's a great driver. He just doesn't have luck on his side throughout his career. But
that whole team does.
But I reckon if he does well next year with the co-drive, it might actually kick in his career again.
It might bring him back. Yeah, it might bring him back.
With good machinery, he should be good. Declan Fraser finished 18th with Tyler Everingham. They were a pretty good. They actually, 18th. They've got to be happy with that, considering they started dead last.
Yeah.
And considering they were at the pointy end, and then they dropped in that restart.
Yeah, that was not a plan, I don't think.
No.
But
he wasn't ready for that.
Considering they started last, they didn't have too many calamities besides that one, and they spun out Simona. But apart from that, they had a pretty clean day.
But, majority of the time they were pretty good, and the car looks really beautiful too.
Yeah.
The only thing is Declan had that problem in the qualifying. Similar to
Oh
Aaron
yeah,
Love, but
that probably screwed up the rest of their
that's
weekend.
it. But Aaron Love and Jake Kostecki finished 19th. Stayed out of trouble, I think. I didn't see much of them, but
Yeah, not much to report them. Obviously, with
no.
two wild cards, Aaron Love was a rookie, so yeah, right? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, first time on
Um,
the mountain, I think, in main game.
yeah, did great. Didn't bin it like he did in the Super Two. But
No.
yeah, he actually beat. Well, they beat the other Blanchard car.
Yeah, before
So
before the retirement. Yeah, he did. And
they were beating them all day.
yeah. Um like
Speaking of
we'll
wild
get
cards,
into that in a minute, but 20th Simona Di Silvestro and Kai Allen. Not too bad. I was
just
expecting him to be a bit higher.
yeah, well, they did get taken out twice.
They did.
But they were very smooth the whole day. Besides, like those incidents weren't their fault.
Well, during that
So
spin, she was sitting in 13th at the time.
yeah, so they were
So,
decent. I think
yeah.
Kyle Allen will definitely be in the 1,000 again next year. He
Oh, for
proved
sure.
himself. He actually did most of the driving, even though that he was a co-driver. He did most of it. He didn't start, but he did like the last two or three stints.
And he, for a young guy who hasn't got as much experience
Oh,
compared to the other guys,
amazing.
got to be happy with that. And especially winning in
Yeah,
Super 2 as well. So very good work by him and her.
yep.
Stayed out of trouble, and that's exactly what you want around here. 21st. Now we go down to the cars that were laps down and stuff like that. Jack Smith and Jackson Evans finished 21st. Good decent amount lap down after having a tangle with Macaulay Jones.
That
Who's
ruined their
finishes
race.
behind them in 22nd.
Yeah, combine the two. They pretty much took each other out of the race.
That's it. Yeah, once they look, they were already sitting in the just underneath 20s.
Yeah, they
Normal. So
no comment.
yeah, just a bit more expensive finishing there.
Yeah.
But
This was the heartbreaker.
Brock Feeney and Jamie Whincups. I'm still happy they were able to actually at least get out. Get some.
Yeah, they finished the race. They came out with
72
like 3 laps
points.
to go.
You know, that's equivalent to a sprint race win almost, just under. So if you look at it that way, it's good recovery. But yeah, gutted. We've already spoken about him though, but
And
not
Loudon
really much
got
you can
out,
say.
who's right behind him. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Loudon got out, who were behind them, had the exact same issue. So
and they were in the back foot straight away, so there was nothing. Once that happened, that was it. And then now the non-finishers, we've got Mark Winterbottom, Michael Caruso. Not really not sure what happened there. Retired on 160 apparently, from the looks of it, according to this.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like, we thought that Todd Hazelwood and Blanchard were the last retirees, but it turns out they were. Don't know why.
So
have to go back and find out why. But
yeah,
Todd Hazelwood and Blanchard.
Yeah, they were pretty much nowhere, unfortunately.
Didn't see them at all. Yeah, they were down the 20s.
Their teammates, their wild card was ahead of them.
Yeah, and for the majority of the day, I think they were actually in front of them on the track before the.
And here's my dark horse: Cam Waters, James Moffat. Not very dark horsey.
No, didn't last very long.
Could have been, should have been, would have been. Didn't happen, but it is what it is. And last but not least, Andre Heimgartner and Dale Wood after that collision with Scott Pye. Actually, no, sorry, they went out. And then
the engine blew up.
Engine blew up, yep. They actually ended up having a hole form underneath.
Yeah.
So now we'll quickly look at
a fireball.
Yeah, that's it. And that was it. Once it's on fire, that's it. Goodbye. Top 10 championship standings. We've got Brody Kostecki still leading the way with 2,447 points. Shane Van Gisbergen is 131 points behind him in second. Third is Will Brown, which I swore Brock Feeney was ahead of Will Brown at the time. Could be wrong.
Yeah,
last
he
time.
was.
Yeah, so
he was, but he's lost the spot.
That's it. So after that problem, Will Brown is now third. Brock Feeney fourth. Fifth is Chaz Mostert. Sixth is Andre Heimgartner. Seventh.
They swapped.
Yeah, did they? Which one? Chaz and Andre.
Andre and Chaz.
Yeah, right. Seventh is Anton. Eighth is LeBrock. Ninth, Cam Borders. And 10th is Bryce Fullwood. Quick look at the teams championship. We've got Erebus leading the way still with 4,500 points, followed by Red Bull, and Brad Jones Racing rounds up the top three. So that was it. That was all the action from the 2023 Repco Bathurst 1000. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments what you think about the race. Whether you also thought it was a snore fest for the majority of it, or you liked it. And if you did like it, good for you. I'm really happy for you. But in my opinion, driver of the weekend, day, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have to give it to Car 88. Despite Brody doing that mega lap, Feeney just, despite heartbreaking result, he did really well.
Yeah, agreed. I think they deserved the win, and it didn't come to fruition, unfortunately.
Like we said, there'll always be another opportunity. I'm sure he'll learn.
Oh, they'll be back.
He'll be ready to. He'll be wanting to.
He'll be pumped
to fix that up. So look forward to that. But next race is the Gold Coast 500. We're back to normal racing up then. We've only got 2 to go. 2 street races, which will be cool. So stay tuned for a preview thing for that in a couple of weeks' time. But also stay tuned for our Qatar Grand Prix review later this week. You can catch us on Spotify and YouTube as well. Subscribe, follow, whatever you listen on. And you can follow Alex on Alex Spinozzi _racing _. Sorry, you say it again because I just screwed that up. I was doing so well.
It's Alex Spinozzi _sim _racing.
I apologize. Please don't hate me.
That's fine. All good.
It will be on the screen, or it will be on the links down below as well. He also does on Twitch as well. Where are you on the camera? There you are. But you can also follow me on at DanielLeckhall35 on Instagram. You can also follow Let's Talk Motorsport on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're not watching. All the links to that will be in the description below. But any final thoughts, Alex, before we wrap this up?
No, all good to go. Let's just hope that Gold Coast is a little bit more entertaining.
Well, based off last year, I think we should be on for a show.
And every other year, Gold Coast is
always
killer.
Fun. I love Gold Coast. And then we've got Adelaide to finish it up too, which is even better.
Yeah,
and
bring it on.
Especially for us, being Adelaideans, makes it even better.
Our home race.
So that's it. So that's all from us. We'll catch you guys next time for the Qatar Grand Prix. If you watched the F1 debrief, stay tuned for that in a couple of days. But other than that, we'll catch you in a few weeks' time for the Gold Coast 500 weekend preview. Bye for now.
Thank you.